Hello everybody, my name is Cubits, and welcome to this mod spotlight for two of my favorite mods that I recently discovered. Better Goodneighbor and Better the Third Rail. Goodneighbor being the area in which you meet Hancock for the first time, and the third rail being the bar in which you can meet McCready and the bar that exists within Goodneighbor. What these mods do is they overhaul the design of the city itself, or rather the town, or whatever you want to call it. It makes it look a lot more lively, and it gives it quite a bit more personality. The reason why I like a lot of these mods is because exploration is one of the best parts of open world games. I enjoy tons of locations in the Commonwealth, but the reality is that there are a limited amount of assets that can be put in this game. There are only so many types of desks you can see. There are only so many combinations of cupboards, and so even though it's fun to explore different locations, and you can indeed suspend your disbelief to the point where it doesn't really get to you, this feeling of sameness is particularly pronounced whenever I am in any kind of unique location. So for instance, Goodneighbor is one of the most notable locations in the game. There are plenty of quest lines that go through there or are completed within there. You can meet two of the most memorable followers in that town, and yet it's different, but it's not that different. All the exterior really adds are a couple signs, and really it doesn't feel that much different from any other location in Fallout. This mod adds some more NPCs, some different kinds of vendors, puts a little bit more emphasis on the fact that this town is full of criminals and chem dealers. It's a little bit more rough and tumble than the other places in Fallout. It makes it feel a lot more lore appropriate and a lot more fun to explore. There's graffiti all over the place, and there are vendors that almost certainly stole all of the goods that they're selling. It looks kind of crowded and crummy, and yet at the same time very full of bustle and personality. The vendors there are not just cosmetic. The majority of them you can actually trade with. So it actually gives you more incentive to visit Goodneighbor, because there are many more types of goods you can find there. Ultimately, it makes the town itself feel unique, like it's actually a unique place within a world. Better the Third Rail is extremely similar, except it deals with only one bar. I have to say, even though I really love Better Goodneighbor, Better the Third Rail is one of my favorite mods for Fallout 4. It's extremely simple, but it does everything that I wanted to see. Walking into the bar, it gave me memories of the original Star Wars and the Mos Eisley Cantina. A bunch of weirdly dressed, tough-looking, ragtag groups of scoundrels, maybe a couple mechanics, maybe just a fisherman. People that would live in the area of Goodneighbor that would frequent the bar. To me, the vanilla bar felt extremely empty. There were only a handful of people there, and whenever Magnolia would sing, it felt very bizarre because there were only a couple people listening to her. Now there are actually people that are doing things in the bar. There are people that are talking with each other, there are people that are eating and drinking with each other, there are people that are repairing things, or just hanging around in general. It also adds several new set pieces. Overall, I really can't see myself visiting Goodneighbor unless I have these two mods installed. And honestly, these mods are particularly appreciated if you find yourself doing a quest line within the city. For instance, if you're doing the Silver Shroud, then you actually have a lot more things to see around you. The city feels more alive while you're spending more time there. Frankly, I would love to see more of these types of mods. They remind me a little bit of the JK Skyrim series or the Dawn of Skyrim series. Any of those mods that remake locations to have more in them, to have a little bit more of an imprint of personality. I think Diamond City could really use a touch-up, for instance. It felt cool to visit, but there's not nearly as much detail as I was hoping for. Nonetheless, I really encourage you guys to download this mod because I think you'll really like it. You probably won't experience much of a performance loss unless your PC is pretty below average. Obviously, it adds more NPCs and items, so take that into consideration. It also requires two different DLCs, the Wasteland Workshop and Automatron. As long as you make sure you have those two things, it should be really easy to download and use. If you're looking for another Fallout 4 mod spotlight, you can check the screen right now and give another one a shot. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.